right, everybody, welcome to Through the Line. I know you guys probably haven't seen me before, but my name is Andres Holliday. I'm typically behind the camera, making sure you have a show to watch. But today, we're going to be doing something different. We're going to flip the script and actually start interviewing D and get to know him a little bit better. As you've been watching the past episodes, you've noticed that D uses this as an opportunity to really connect with his guests and hear their story and background. But they don't really get a chance to like get to know you like that. You know, it's like you're too busy, I guess, being the boss, being the host, being, front of the line, that people don't really get to know too much about it. And I think even from when I first met you, the thing that really got my attention was just, even though you have like that modern feel, like what's modern and what's like a part of the style. Like, you're country, bro. Like, you are country. Like, you can't. Like, you're like you got the shoes and the hat, and you're in the penthouse kind of thing, you know. So, like, tell me a little bit about that background. Where you started from, Arkansas. It's different than Texas, but tell us so that people kind of know, what is it like growing up in Arkansas?
Right now, if I had to name the most beautiful place right now within the states, I would say it would be Arkansas right now. Yeah. The changes of the seasons, able to have all 4 seasons. Arkansas is great. And it is great because it's not too many people, messing with the lands. It's a natural state. So you got a lot of natural things, and with natural things becomes a lot of natural people who just genuinely, just be themselves. Of course, everybody has a role to play within everybody's life, but within that role to play, you need to learn how to actually be your own character as well, which is yourself. So, man, being raised in Arkansas really taught me how to be humble and to be yourself, most of all. Yep. So you didn't have to fake the funk with nobody, because a lot of people really didn't have that separation money. If they did, you really didn't know of them. So your bubble and your the way that your life was, and your economic status and demographic was all kind of pretty much the same. Whether you were white, whether you were black, everybody was just utilizing each other to be able to make it. And it took a lot of camaraderie and a lot of unselfishness acts. So,
well, I will say that that's one thing that's super interesting about you too, man, is that, I like how you put that. It's like you there's not separation money. You didn't have enough to like separate yourself from everyone else to where you could just develop your own thing. I think you did it harder. It's like you had to believe who you were, and then you had to stand on your own business. And if anybody tried to call you out or say, hey, no, fuck you, you were able to have to stand on, no, this is who I am.
Yeah.
And I even noticed as we get to know each other and everything that you are very, like, you know what you like, you know what you want, you know what you're going for. And I think that nowadays men struggle with even being able to do that. So it's like, do you think your background had a lot to do with you even being able to keep that momentum as you're getting older of knowing exactly what you want and going for it?
I think coming from a certain place in life, of course, every human being has a choice, right? We have a choice every day to wake up to either to be positive or be negative.
Yep.
And I feel that way within everything and everyone. That's why I always tell people you can achieve or do anything that you want to do in life. That's the good thing about the human body, is that you can really adapt if you train your mind to be able to learn how to adapt in different situations and environments, right? So, man, I wouldn't necessarily say that coming from the place that I came from gave me more insight and characteristics than others that came from a different, uprising and background. Because I've seen wealthy people with head starts, even coming out of Arkansas and different places, and they piss it all away. And I've seen people who come from nothing and they use their ethnicity or their status of where they start the race at whenever they start to trying to figure out their adulthood, and they use it as a crutch. So they use it as a mental crutch into their own insecurities, as far as understanding that, oh, well, this is how my life is supposed to be because this is what was chosen for me. But like I said on my previous podcast, is that we're all given a book, but we're the author of those books. So the flow of everybody's life path story can be controlled by the individual living out that life. So every day you got a choice to be able to be like, hey, to heck with it, I'm gonna be great and I'm gonna figure something out, or you're gonna use whatever you're gonna use to be able to crutch and inhibit your bad habits, which are merely are just insecurities.
So then, the classic question is always, how much of this is nature versus nurture, right? So how much of it is actually, like what you were saying, who you are, where you're from, compared to like what hard work you have to put in? Like, is it actually hard work, you think? What it sounds like.
It's definitely hard work, but whenever you're working hard for something, you don't really think about how hard it is. You're thinking about the impacts that you can make within doing what you're doing. If you do have a purposeful intent with what you're doing, which is finding your purpose throughout whatever lane or field of play that you're gonna happen to play in. So I've served my purpose in different environments, but it just happens to be in this environment. I feel like I can serve my purpose and fulfill a little bit more because of my outreach of being able to physically go touch people and to be able to have that driving car to be able to get me in front of more people so I can make conversation, so I can make more connections, in life. And I feel like a lot of people shy away from that, especially when COVID happened. They screwed us over into thinking that life is supposed to just be me versus me, and I'm my only competition, and all I got to do is worry about myself. And it really shelled a lot of people in and cut people out of being able to do what we're meant to do on earth. In order to be successful, you have to go out and make those connections, because 31 years of life, guys, I will tell you now here today, it's truly not about what you know. It's about who you know. Who you know is able to be able to get you on the stage to showcase what you know. So whenever you're using that as a guiding engine, and a lot of people are becoming more successful, of course, economic stuff messes up. So they control it. They shut it down. So it handicapped a lot of people. And a lot of people who had hopes and aspirations, they thought it was a sign for God of saying that, hey, this is not what I'm supposed to do at this time. Right.
And what's interesting, that I thought that's a real powerful message. It's like what it ended up doing, because you really think about the whole you versus yourself. That was like the pitch for real for at least like 5-6 years. Like, don't worry about competition. It's just you versus yourself, you versus yourself. But if you really step back and look at it, like what you said, it does put you in a bubble. It does. It almost eliminates you. You're almost trying to convince yourself that you don't really need to participate in the world outside.
Absolutely.
You're saying the opposite. You're actually saying, no. Go into the world, leave the bubble. It is you versus the world. And maybe it's the world and you versus everything else. So your approach is different to it. That's interesting. I haven't heard that before.
Yeah, I feel like that's a cop out whenever people say that, because it's like you going in the gym and you're shooting basketball and be like, I won today. You won today because you were the only person playing. But if you go out there and actually compete and go against people that may happen to be a little bit better than you, and you know that, it messes with your identity, yourself, and that's what creates that insecurity. And that's why a lot of people, back to your original question, a lot of men and people struggle with finding their way through their upbringing, like we were talking about. But it's really just, it doesn't matter where you come from. If you have the confidence to be able to drive yourself into figuring out who you are, which is your identity, then you're going to have a more of an intentful, purposeful life that you're going to fulfill.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something even like, as a Hispanic, they say 83% of Hispanics live within 1 mile of their parents. So it's like already just statistically, just being born, you have an 83% chance of doing nothing. Yeah. So you naturally, just even being Hispanic, it's probably the same thing for you, So it's like, if you don't purposely make yourself get out of that bubble and I love how you use that basketball phrase, because the thing is, you know, you end up playing against somebody who's better than you. You're not going to win. It's going to be harder. You're probably going to get bumped around. You might even fall,
Yep.
you know, or you might get, I mean, you might even get embarrassed, but it's like, how do you handle those moments? Like, do you choose to say, fuck it, I don't need to do this? Which is what a lot of men do. They try to act the whole, I'm too good for that anyways. Fuck it, I don't need to play. Or do you say, I want to get better and take time to yourself? I mean, what have you seen? You know, one of the things that's crazy about it too is, you know, a lot of people know you for the roofing side of it, but you've done the other of you, what even in America would consider the most intense, most impactful sport in America, football. Everyone knows that, right? And then you've even been in the highest levels, combines, college, high level sports. I mean, you've seen it all. You've really seen it all, from people even in, you know, places where they don't want to do anything, to then seeing people that are pushing all the way. I mean, where do you think it all should be? Where should they be? Is it in the middle, or should you just go for it all?
Definitely go for it all. We're all on borrowed time.
Yeah.
And it's funny that we're talking about characteristics things too, just to hit on that before I get into that, because you kind of laid off with a different question at first. I just want to tell you what really hinders some people. I wouldn't say most, but some people that I've seen, I would say a 50-50. When it comes down to them establishing themselves within a entrepreneurship career. There's a lot of people that fail when it comes down to this characteristic, and that's integrity. Integrity meaning doing the right thing even when no one's paying attention. And there is a lot of people who wear this act of a mask only while people are watching them, or while cameras in front of them, just for them to sound good, and that's truly not them. And it always exposes itself, because you can only hold that mask up for so long before your arm gets tired and people find out the real you. So the true definition of character with any man or woman is how you react to adversity.
Yep.
How you react to adversity. It's easy to be a good person whenever you're winning and everything's going your way.
Yep.
But the true test of any man, woman, or child is whenever things aren't going your way and you're constantly getting hit with negative or bad news or failure. That's whenever your true character comes out to play. And within business, any business, you're going to have a run of failures. So my piece of advice to anyone watching this here tonight, just be yourself. If you're a bad person, at least let people know that you're a bad person. Some people do business with bad people. That's just because bad people flock to bad people. There's a pool out there for that. And then if you're a good person, just be a good person all the time. It takes more energy to have a negative mindset and be a bad person than it is to be positive. So go chase everything that you want to go chase and be. I am a true believer that every human being can change and adapt to being as special as anyone on this earth. Even the last one who did it great, someone can always come back and do it a little bit greater. And that's the constant evolve that we're supposed to be as a human race. That way we can get better as a people and not just individuals. So everybody just need to kind of hop on that train.
Well, and that's interesting too. Like, so why do you think people do that? Why do you think people have to create that mask? I love your analogy of, you know, everybody can hold a mask up to their face, but eventually your arm gets tired.
Yeah.
Why are they even holding the mask in the first place?
It is truly, and social media really highlighted this, is people are too worried about what other people have to think or what they got to say about them. It created a stigma of insecurity heightened that I've never seen it before in my life. And it's not just one gender, it's everybody. I'm talking about seeing kids insecure at the age of 9, like going to counseling and things like that. I'm going to always put that on bad parenting. I don't care who's watching this. If you got a young kid and they going through depression, you allowing them to do that, that is your fault. Ain't nobody that young and that precious and that clueless of life, real life, and y'all know what I'm talking about when you get older. Ain't nobody able to be that clueless and has a mind to be depressed. There's something that you're doing to put around your kids that you're failing at. So that's a reevaluation point for y'all.
That's true.
But I just don't. I think people are trying to live a false life and trying to be an actor or a Halloween character, dress up as a Halloween character, and it's all an entertainment or game for them, and that's what creates more of a I would say more of a person who's living life without a clue of their own self, which is pretty much just doing things to appease others and not truly living for themselves. And that's a real bad place to be in, because at some kind of point in life, you're gonna realize, like I said, it is you against the world. There's no mommy, there's no daddy, there's no kids, there's no brother, there's no sister, there's no spouse. And whenever that time hit and you truly realize that, hey, a lot of people are with you because, of course, we're all selfish individuals from birth, even kids. Well, hey, mine, mine, mine. We're still that way because we all have a survival instinct of rejection and wasting time. Everyone fears that. So the thing that a lot of people do is get comfortable within having the good blessings of a great husband or a great wife or great family being or great company, and always and forever and always.
That's true, man. I
Yep.
mean, it really is an interesting factor because I mean, even when people, I feel like it's interesting because you see this younger generation, they'll do everything they can to. I mean, I've seen fake money. They said fake money
Yeah.
on Amazon has been selling more than ever.
Dude, they're spending real money to buy fake money.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. They're
That
literally
is
spending
insane.
real money to buy fake money to make it look like they have money, and they don't have anything.
Nothing.
But yet, and I think that that's also so fascinating too, because eventually it's like, well, who are you then, really? Like at the end of the day, who are you? You probably can never let somebody close to you because the moment they get close to you, you realize this guy is nothing. He's just an empty shell. How do you like? What would you tell to a man who's like thinking, you know what? They're realizing, oh shit, I am just an empty shell. Like, how do I become somebody so where it's no longer just acting like it, but actually being somebody?
You got you got two sides of change. People either change for the better or for the worse.
Yeah.
There's no in between. It's either you getting better with change or you getting worse. You're going forward or you're going backwards. And that's what I got to think about those kind of people is it's all a self-reevaluation moment that's going to hit them really, really hard because they're then not able to have any doors in that mirror room. All the doors have closed whenever you burn so many bridges. So the only person you got is yourself, and you have to face yourself every single day. And that will, I hopefully should, break anyone down to realizing that they got to be a better person.
Well, that's interesting you say that because you mentioned social media earlier. I think social media is making it harder for you to face yourself because when you finally do face yourself, social media distracts you, gets you out of it, and you lose that, which is it's kind of a hard point to even get to that point where you're like finally facing the fact of who you are. I feel like the whole world is just trying to get you out of that moment. It's almost impossible nowadays for a lot of these people to even face the fact of who are you. Because they don't know how to. What's the next question? Because the moment you realize who you are, the only thing you have left is to either change who, like you're going forward or going backwards. And I feel like, yeah, with social media now, it's just about just the first time they're just keeping you in place.
Yep.
10 years later, you're just 10 years older. But everything is still the same for a lot of these people, living in the same place, talking about the same things, doing the same things. I mean, have you noticed that?
A lot of people run a race just so they can be able to sign autographs or have fans or people support and cheer for them. And some people run the race to be able to win and achieve goals. They're not focused on the outside crowd. So you got a lot of people who are living life for others to be able to praise them or to them to gain the status that they always wanted. So it makes them feel more whole as an individual. And then you got those people who understand it's not about the financial measurement of success. It's about the impacts and how I can move a whole entire nation.
Exactly.
So everybody always asks me, it's like, man, why don't you be an influencer on social media? I'm just like, I don't want to be an influencer. I want to be impactful. Okay. I don't want to influence people. Influence people is just merely like motivation. Hey, you may wake up motivated for 1 week. The next 5 weeks it's gone. It's like a roller coaster, right? But whenever you make an impact, you leave a footprint of notoriety that people are going to read about and they're going to tell your stories even whenever you're long gone. And that's what I feel like everyone's purpose should be about, because what matters is legacy.
Yeah.
If what people got to think and what people got to say about you whenever you're gone, not whenever you're here. That's why you don't focus on that whenever you're actually here, creating your steps. It's so for other people to tell your story, because you're really doing a great job, other people are going to talk about you.
Well, and this is, for you, especially like, talking about Arkansas, like nobody's supposed to be doing this, and nobody's supposed to be doing something then from Arkansas all of a sudden moving to Dallas trying to do big things.
Yeah.
And so what even made you want to do that? What voice is telling you that, hey, you know what, you don't belong in Arkansas. There's other places, bigger places for you. Like what was that?
I was always the person, even within a small town place, a small group, small minded people. I was always that person that was called crazy, and the group was like, "Oh, here go forward again. Here go forward. Like he on that crazy stuff again. He all in. Like y'all know when he make his mind up, his mind is set on it." But a lot of people fail to realize that that's what's always driven my success mindset. It's being, dude, like it's not hard headed, it's headstrong. I'm just headstrong. I'm not hard headed. I listen to people, but like you said, whenever I believe in something, like I believe in something, there's emotion behind it. There's passion. And if I say I'm gonna do something, that means that I want to try to be the absolute best at it. I don't think that you should go and half-ass anything in life. If you're half-assing anything in life, you might as well not even do it. It's just like going out on the field. It's like, hey, if you don't want to play today, don't hurt the whole team. Go sit on the bench. Like
That's
let somebody else give their passion and their heart out, because he been waiting for it. He been waiting to get in the game. The person behind you that normally don't get to play. Hey, let somebody else in. Do what's best for the team. So it came from sports and everything too. It's just having a mindset like every single day you got to give your all, because your days are limited.
Was being on a team big for you?
It was. It taught me a lot of things on how to be able to lead. And a lot of people don't like raw, real leadership. A lot of people don't like raw, real leadership. It's because it humbles you in a way that a lot of people don't get humbled these days. It ain't no participation awards within this encouragement over here. There's not no, I'm having sick or bad. Ain't no sick or bad days. All the greats that I read about, that I grew up trying, basically like idolizing, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Ray Lewis, Brian Urlacher, Terrell, all these guys, no was not an answer. And they were going to show you. So that's why I always do, and that's why I always just jump off the cliff. I'm the first person, and if there's a war coming right now with 100 people, I'll be the first one on this side going after. I just want to even test my might. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanna go for it. Like I'm not scared of it. I'm not scared of failure, because I understand within failures is just gonna only make me that much more resilient to being able to attain that success.
Yeah, and so you feel like when you put you in a team, eventually you'll over time become the leader. Have you noticed that?
You throw me in the jungle, I'm pretty much I'm gonna adapt and learn how to. I'm gonna learn how to come out and lead. Yeah. I love challenges. I love pressure. I operate better under pressure.
Was that something you learned like later on in life, or when did you learn that?
Super duper early. My dad used to throw me up in front of the whole church, and dude, and when I tell you, hey, I'm light complex, but you could tell I used to get red in the face and sweat and shake. Like I was that nervous, and then dude, it was crazy. Like he used to just throw me out there and be like, "Hey, my son got something to say." I'm like, "No, I don't." And then he made me play the drums. I didn't know how to play the drums. He was like, "I ain't got no drummer, so hop up there. My son know how to play." I'm like, "No, I don't." But what I now understand, I'm glad that he did that. I didn't like him at the time for it, but it created a characteristic within me that a lot of people don't have, is to be able to learn while you run.
Exactly.
I can throw the ball on my right and I can throw the ball on my left. He made me pretty much ambidextrous in life.
Because he just made you do it.
Like he made me learn how to move, act as I was learning how to process and soak up whatever I was doing that I was trying to learn.
Do you think that's gonna give you an advantage right now, where a lot of not just men, you could almost say just people in general are so focused on the study, like
Absolutely.
go and get they get a bachelor's, master's, PhD, and they never end up doing the stuff that they've been studying their whole life. And when they actually get in the environment, they don't know how to handle it. Do you think that gives you an advantage?
Absolutely so. I'm gonna take a person who may not have a high education, but their work ethic is ruthless. I'm gonna take the person that work ethic is ruthless over the person who got the masters.
Yep.
I'm gonna get more out of them because they don't work so hard going through all that school to get their masters. They feel like something should be handed to them, awarded to them based off status. But the person that ain't got much is gonna have to work 10 times harder to be able to have that respect of that status that they went and pretty much paid for and studied for.
Exactly.
That person's gonna work for it. So they're already built to be able to run the ship. Just a dog mentality.
Exactly.
It's just a dog mentality, man. It's just like, hey, show me the best person in the room, and that's who I want to go after first. I need to feel that weight. I need to feel that pressure. I need to see what it really is when coming into whatever environment of the room or industry that I come in. I'm just like, I want to see that. I want to go against that so I know how to properly be able to train and take myself to get better at what I need to get to be able to even be better than that. So it's just a challenging, very confident mentality. And it also holds you accountable whenever you say you're going to do something that comes out of your mouth. It holds you more accountable because now you've publicly spoken that to someone. So the pressure is on. All them people are, oh, man, I'm keeping my stuff, like that me versus me. So, like, man, I'm just keeping my moves silent, man. If your move silent, then your step not big enough.
Oh, I like that.
If you moving silent, then your step's not big enough. And you're going to take 1,000,000 steps to be able to get to where somebody else got it in 10 steps whenever they stood that ground.
I like
so, that. I mean, true definition of standing 10 tones down is standing your ground and letting people know how you feel, what you believe. Facing that adversity, facing that opposition. That's whenever you're going to dive deep into yourself to understand that, hey, is you really you?
Why do you think it's so hard for men to take that, to basically, because first you got to stand your ground to yourself, and then you stand your ground to the world. Why do you feel like men have just a struggle with even doing that? They're just giving up.
I don't know. Maybe they're eating too much tofu.
For real, right? Soy boys.
Yeah, soy-based stuff converting into estrogen, man. I don't know, man. It was never brought to my attention on how a lot of men can be until I moved to the city, dude. We don't really have soft guys out in the country.
Yeah.
Like, even with the few who kind of, struggle with facing their identity when it came down to sexuality, they were still tough, dude.
Whoop your ass.
Like, bro, hey, you didn't want to mess with them at all, bro. They strong, quick, fast, everything, dude. Like, everybody just out there because it's survival. We don't have the access and the tools that a lot of people have access and tools that out here. When I first met my first homie from Texas, it was his name is Isaiah Robinson, and he grew up out here in Frisco. He went to I think it was Liberty, bro. Okay. So I'm just like, he'll show me his high school highlights and stuff. I'm like, bro, what? Y'all got like fitted gear. Y'all got like, look at the stadium. Like it's bigger than where we are at in college right now. I'm just like, dude, y'all had scouts coming to every game. He was like, yeah, all that. We had strength and conditioning coach, legit programs and all that. I'm like, dude, we ain't have nothing. We would have ran through y'all with just like grit.
just being there, just not feeding
Y'all
y'all.
had the advancements, yeah, but we had the grit. Like it was a dogfight. Like we was out there really hurting people.
Yeah.
Like grown men game stuff. And but the level of development wasn't there when it came down to the technicalities. And we didn't have the access to that stuff like they had out here. And even the education, the schools and stuff was much different too.
So I'm wondering I mean, that's interesting, right? So it's like you guys were dogs, right? But which one had the advantage? Would it be the country dog kind of approach, or was it like just the extra money Frisco side? Like, what did you see it as?
I saw it as a missed opportunity because every time I used to talk to him about it, I used to say, hey, man, if that was me, I would have been. Now that I think about it, I'm like, man, if I was raised out in Texas, I probably wouldn't have the same mentality I got out of country Arkansas. So in order to achieve consistent success, I feel like you need to be able to learn how to do both. Shout out to Dad again. Yep. You need to have the book smarts. You need to learn how to run systems and strategize, and you need to be able to come up with brilliant ideas and get creative. But you also need to have that work ethic. You need to have that dog in you to be like, nah, this is why this is gonna work, and you show everybody.
And you think that's something that you can learn, or you think that's something that you have to see at a young age? Like if you're just figuring this out at 25, 26, 27, do you think that's too late? Like,
some people hit that strides later. I know a lot of billionaires and millionaires who didn't become it until they're 40 plus years old.
Damn.
Until they was 50 plus years old. And it's very common. But also those guys, you got to think, were older than us, so they didn't have the things that we have at a young age to be successful even more expeditiously.
I mean, it's crazy. Like, there's so much technology available. Even just what I showed you yesterday. Like, there's so much technology available. Like, I know if these, like, just these monsters from the 80s, if they had even half the shit we had, dude, they would be monsters, dude. Like, it's just, so it's incredible. I agree with you. I almost think that, like, going back to the Frisco example, like, almost the more you have, it does kind of like weigh you down, almost slows you down because you feel like you got it, it's okay.
Yep.
But when you don't have, it creates that dog, which I think that's what gets you further.
Creates purpose.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I like that.
It creates purpose because you then have to have a reason why you wake up every single day whenever you don't have anything. Whenever you got a lot of things, you can have many different things to wake up for.
Yep.
But that's why you always say diamonds in the roughs. It's like, man, deep within the ground level below E is people.
I mean, and for you, even though you hold yourself in a very confident format and everything, you also have like a little bougie feel to you. No matter what, you know how to keep that feel. You look nice. You like to take care of yourself. What was D like when he was 5? What was he like when he was 6? Was it a whole different, like, what were you even thinking? What mattered to you then?
I was still the same person, man. Just being myself.
Yeah.
I've never did that. I butted heads with my parents and like yelled back at them and other people and superiorities because I was just, if I believed something was right, I believed it was right. And it didn't matter at whatever age that it was. I had insecurities as a younger child because I was chubby. But my dad highlighted that for me, but it created me a little bit more insecure at that time. But it helped me out on the back end. So whenever I got out of my dad's house, I got in incredible shape. And that was one of the driving factors. So the whole time he was on top of me as a kid, I wasn't ready. That wasn't my interest.
How much do you think that everything that happened to you as a kid plays a role? Do you think it's a big role?
Absolutely so. I think it's either gonna it's gonna either hinder you in your life or it's gonna benefit you. And that's why I love having an optimistic mindset. Shoot, it could be 1,000 arrows coming at us right now, Andres, and we got one shield. I'm like, nah, bro, we gonna make it.
We're good,
Like,
dude.
we may get a little bit hurt, but we ain't gonna die. And
Yeah, exactly.
that's how I face every situation. It's really benefited me within my career because construction, I mean, everything ain't always sunshines and rainbows. It's gonna be something pop up.
Something's gonna happen.
And I just come in and I'm just smiling, make everybody feel good. And the whole time I'm just like, I'm understanding the task that I have to carry on my back. And that's what challenges me because I'm just like, I'm going to smile just as big whenever I see that person smile, of knowing that I helped them get out of a situation where they thought that wasn't going to happen. That's where your favorite roofer comes from.
I mean, construction, I mean, like you said, it really is like anything could happen.
Yeah.
From the team could just not show up to the checks could not go through. I mean, there's anything that could end up happening. Why did you choose construction?
If I had to be frank with you, man, is somebody showed me the amount of money that you can make, and I believe everybody's time is valuable by you understanding the value of your time. And whenever I say that, I was headstrong in whatever I was doing before. I was a QC representative for JP Morgan Chase corporate. I was 30 minutes before work every day, and I stayed later 30 minutes after everybody had left. I still had that same mindset because I knew in college and football, it was the extra work that gave me the advantage. And when a lot of people are tired and they want to go home and they just working a job just to be able to have a funding just so they can live their life just at a base level, I'm just like, nah, like I want to be the best. And in order to be the best, you got to do more.
Exactly.
So,
But how much more would you say? Like, because a lot of people, one of my favorite quotes is actually by a guy named Grant Cardone. He says, "Never underestimate the amount of effort it will take to accomplish your goal." And so, how much effort does it actually take?
it just depends on how high you set your goal.
Yeah,
A lot of people don't set high goals because they're not scared of the goal or the number or the place. They're scared of the work that they have to put in to be able to get there. So they know
true.
every person has felt success before. Every person has felt success before. Okay? Every person has felt success. That's the reason why everyone wants to be successful. There's different levels of success, and to be able to get the different levels of success, you have to endure different levels of pain, loneliness, unhappiness, the unknown, the betrayal, everything. How many people are you willing to lose? The sacrifice comes within how far you're willing to take this thing. How much sacrifice are you willing to make to be able to achieve your goal? Not your mama goal, not your daddy goal, not your son goal, not your wife goal. How much are you willing to sacrifice, and what are you willing to sacrifice to get to that? Even in the Bible, you have sacrificials. In order to achieve something so great, hey, even God said, hey, give that away. Give away all your cattle. Give away all your horses. Give away all your agriculture, your land too, your crops. Just be normal. Give away all your riches and your glory. Be normal. Like I said, the true definition of character is what you're gonna do when that adversity hit and you ain't got nothing. And whenever you used to having that, you used to having them wins. So you gotta understand, within every level of success, you gotta strip all them badges off whenever it's time to go to work. Ain't nobody on the military field with all kind of decorated badges. That stuff is just for balls and and show and stuff. And whenever they go out to war, like, hey man, everybody kind of pretty much look the same.
Yep.
Like, it's time to get down. So
That's so true.
every level of success that you obtain, once you get into that next category in that next room, you got to go through even much harder work than whenever you just celebrated to get to where you just got. Every floor has a different set of staircases, and it gets harder. It gets harder, and it gets harder because you're now exposing yourself to that you're capable. So people expect that out of you, and a lot of people go through depression whenever they touch it and they lose it all, and they kind of got lucky.
Because they probably shouldn't even have had it in the first place.
You can look up sometimes, but a lot of the most special people that can be consistently successful are the ones that are true hustlers.
And even then, success. Which ones? We're still good on the cameras. That's fine. We'll probably wrap up in a little bit. But see, that's one of the things that is so fascinating to me too, because like when I look at it, I remember even in my mid-20s, I felt like I used to be involved in this exotic car rental company, and that's one of the things we owned. We had a lot of nice cars or whatever.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
But the problem was like at the end of the day, you would drive home this real nice little car, and I still had a normal apartment. I was wearing normal stuff. And it made me realize, like, you don't make it till it's the whole thing. It's the car, the home, the family. It's the whole thing. And what I've noticed is that people are so cool with just getting one and then acting like they have the whole thing.
They highlight it. They worship it.
They worship it instead of becoming someone to where everything you have just compliments you instead of you just complimenting that one thing that you have. That's one thing I'll say that I really do appreciate about you is that, like, no matter what it is, whether it's your truck, the house, the business, or whatever it is, all that stuff, it's to compliment who you are, not you to compliment what you got.
Yeah, that stuff doesn't make me. And that's another thing about humbling moments in my raising. Man, no matter how much money I get, money won't control me. I can go hang out and talk to a homeless person on the side of the road. I can go hang out with a billionaire. I can go hang out with a millionaire. It really don't matter. I'm going to still be the same me every single time. So it's just something that comes with it. But otherwise, I'm true to myself. Nothing that ever changed me. Not no dollar amount. Not know how many houses. Not how many cars. That stuff right there, if that defines you as a person, then you don't know who you are yet. I see it all the time. I see it out here in DFW. When I first got to Dallas, man, that's all I see. A lot of $30,000 millionaires.
Ooh.
A lot of $30,000 millionaires literally putting themselves in incredible debt, not being able to keep up with the bills and just messing up their credibility with not even just finances, just even relationships in life. Because one day, that light's going to shine on you. And like I said, it's hard to keep that mask up very long.
Well, I will say this, man. It's been a privilege. It's cool to be able to be behind the camera most of the time because I get to see the storytelling. I get to see the vision coming into real life. And it's real cool to be able to see you becoming who you are throughout time. So I'm excited for this journey of ours, man. I'm glad that you even gave me a chance to be on this side of the mic and to help get your story out. Hopefully we can do this again. But like what you always say, hey man, I appreciate having you on, man.
Hey man, look, you did a great job, man. Let's give him a hand, y'all. This the man. He go put his Instagram links and everything in there as well. This is the guy that makes me look better than what I look, I guess. All right, have a good night.
All right.